do believe it would be beneficial to survey the businesses, other than just the bid board.
Can I just
Yep, and then
respond to
Mary
that?
wanted to say something.
There you go.
My question is talking about closing down Oakland, how many times a year do we actually close down more than a block?
It's growing, so there's a couple more this year than last year, and I think we're gonna do our special events policy today. So
Okay.
we'll talk about that at the village board meeting.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's not that many, it's just has grown. Yes.
And I'm not sure that all of us, I know not all of us are in agreement that shutting down Oakland is a problem in this village. In fact, I find it, listen, working Wisconsin Avenue, you see that shut down all the time. You see major materials shut down in Milwaukee and in a variety of places. But I guess more of a point, are we voting tonight?
No.
Okay,
Just-
yeah, and I know it's, President Rosick, since you are a business owner, you probably, like, I don't know if you have to recuse yourself from this vote or not, give
I've
it,
never been told I had to, but.
with a conflict potentially of interest, raising your own assessment could help.
Well, I'd be the only business owner besides the bid board that knows that, so maybe I can speak for the rest of them. No, I'm just joking.
No, I mean,
I'll ask,
as a
I'll
village
ask you for the next
trustee,
meeting,
yeah.
yeah, of course. Thank you.
Exactly to your point about reaching out to all the small businesses, the bid board had the exact same comment last week, because we brought up the fact that there are a lot of businesses that aren't being touched by what you see on that spreadsheet, yet they're paying for it. So what we decided to do, and we're organizing it right now, is that every business in Shorewood will receive a visit from one of the bid board members to ask them specifically, what are we doing, what do you think of it, what could we be doing, what would help
You're
you?
gonna raise your taxes, this is what it's going for, are you in agreement?
Right, but it just basically, because there's a lot of people that aren't being touched, yet they're still paying taxes, right? And that, you never want that situation. And so, when we found, I mean, when I proposed it was because there were businesses that weren't getting involved, that even like, food, beverage, and entertainment weren't getting involved. I said, we need to find out why not.
Okay.
And so the decision was that we were organizing each bid board member will get a list of businesses, and you have to go to that business and speak to the owner or whoever's running that business and ask them, what do you think about this? What's good, what's bad? So we have the exact same concern, that.
And when you do that, it'd be very beneficial to say, we're proposing to raise your taxes.
Yeah.
And this is what it's going for. Can you give us some comments?
Yeah.
You don't even have to lead them, just, can you give us your feedback?
Yeah.
Trustee Warren, and then.
And just to kind of,
Oh, I'm sorry, it's your.
Point off of that, I'm assuming that there's some process in place to document those conversations, just so we
Yeah,
have.
I asked that the data be collected in such a way that we could compare what was coming in from all the different quarters, and quarters being places, not quarters in fiscal. And that we could do the same thing next year and the year after, and the data would be organized in such a way, I mean, we don't have to sit there with a clipboard like a census taker, but the questions asked and the data received has to be comparable across
Yeah,
the entire village.
yeah, just it's repeatable and.
So that it's not a pro forma, I want your opinion, and that it all disappears.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Matt, and
just
then,
to reiterate we did discuss that, and it's really important to mention, that you definitely don't want this interpreted as we're raising extra money, so
Right.
food and beverage can have a party.
I wouldn't say that.
But I mean, if we go door to door, which we literally discussed, because we weren't saying, good, let's raise assessment, we were literally saying, let's find everybody out there who hasn't heard of the bid and discuss what it is. So we would show up at the door and not say, we're raising the taxes, here's why. We
So
would
maybe it's a
say,
different mailing or something.
well, we would say, here's what you're investing in, did you know you can participate? And no, we can't have a close down Oakland for a coin shop party,
I
that
love
will just
that.
never
We've been
happen.
talking about that for 6 years.
But we did actually discuss a health and wellness thing, which is a priority on our upcoming strategic ideas for events, because yes, that is a
Great.
group of businesses, but it has to be a group. We can't have the event for every individual business, but literally going door to door and explaining how you could be involved. You know, there are businesses who just don't even know it, and they can get a tent and show up and sell stuff. I mean, that's not,
Yeah, visibility.
it's not that have too low of a margin and they're losing out, they may not even know what the bid is doing for them.
Right, and I think we've talked about this for a long time, and I appreciate that. That is a fabulous effort. I applaud all of you, because we've been talking about that for a long time, doing that. The difference between the Shorewood bid and some other bids is that we individually don't opt out or opt in other bids around the state, that there is that opportunity for some bids. So the reason that I'm saying specifically about the tax increase is because we don't have a choice as a business owner, and so it would be very beneficial for the business owner to know they're being taxed, because it's really the landlord that gets the bill and they pass it through. I see mine separately on my bill, but a lot of people don't. So then you know they're paying for a service that they're not using. And then if you're increasing that rate, they don't have an option to opt out, but at least they'd have an option to say, I agree with it, I don't agree with it, I hope our bid board listens, because you're representative of those businesses, and I don't know that you've heard enough from them to know what they would support raising taxes for on themselves. This is just a unique bid where you can't opt in or opt out.
But we can join the bid board.
Yeah.
And we have,
You
Erica
can, correct.
attest
Attend
that we
meetings.
ask many, and not everybody even shows up who does join. So
Correct. But
if you do have a strong opinion on the tax, but you're not.
But there's a lot of small businesses that we don't even think of. I mean, there's a
It's
lot
like
of
kind of
businesses.
point of clarification.
Sure.
Because it sounds like you're having a discussion. I wanna know, I understand you're the chair of this meeting this evening,
I am.
but we have the bid board,
We're getting public.
I understand, but it sounds to me like you're having a point counterpoint. And I know there are a lot of people here that wanna speak. And so I'm
think
just
it's a
asking that
discussion.
perhaps we limit our point counterpoints here, unless we all have that opportunity.
I believe in public conversations.
I am here,
So,
public
thank you for your
conversations
comments.
or comments, but,
thank you for your concern.
okay,
Yes.
you're welcome.
I think, I didn't see a line for legal fees in here, but I know that I made a public records request and sent it to the village attorney, and I don't know that the village attorney should be giving legal advice to the business district at public expense. If the business owners want to pay for it, that's one thing, but I think that the business district's expenses should be their own and not passed on to taxpayers. I think that the business district and the village may be adverse interests in some respects, and there's a conflict. And I wonder whether there's a policy of reporting the use of the village attorney and paying the cost if the village gets.
I have no idea. We do pay the attorney by the hour, so I just had no idea that was being used.
Yeah, he probably, I mean, we could ask him to report, time that he spent on bid issues.
Can we ask
For outside
now that the
agencies.
bid report the use of the lawyer, and is that okay? I mean, it's the policy decision of the village. Did somebody just call up and use your lawyer? Especially when they're not answering public records requests, that's especially onerous.
I will look into that before our next meeting in the morning.
I think we want to
It might be a
ask-
separate line item, it's a great point. Thank you.
Yeah,
Trustee Mata?
and along that line, I'm glad there's so many bid board members here, because the bid, my understanding is the bid is subject to open meetings and open records, just like any other governmental agency. And so I would suggest that, so there's certain rules about, comfort, a quorum and conversations through the quorum. There's rules about how votes can be taken, they have to be taken in public, the results of the votes have to be included in the minutes. There's a really, easy to read and understand document from the Wisconsin Attorney General. If you just Google open meetings law, Wisconsin Attorney General, it's a very clear document. And you guys should all, understand that you're a public agency and need to operate under those regulations, just so the public, for transparency, so people know what you're doing and how you're spending tax dollars and that kind of thing.
We don't have a quorum here this evening, and I knew that number in the back of my head, and I did not get commitments from 7 people.
Oh, I'm required to about today, no.
No, I was saying, for example, if you, like there's issues like if you guys talk about something, and then you talk to him, and he and.
Oh, like a walking quorum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's coming to a decision.
Or voting through email.
Voting for
Emails, a
email, or
secret
coming
Facebook
to a
group.
decision through talking to each other, but the point is, when you're deliberating and coming to decisions, it has to be in a meeting that's been noticed, that the public knows about and can attend and see, and, be
I'm
able to
brand
see
new,
what.
but
Fine.
I think we've never, I'm brand new, but we only can talk around this table when the 7th person walks through the door.
with a quorum.
with a quorum.
You can actually talk,
You
just
can
can't
talk,
vote.
but you can't vote.
I don't, I think
What are
we're
you talking about?
stepping
We're
out of our
doing-
bounds
yeah.
here
Yeah.
as far as
This is
offering
really-
question.
I think.
I don't think it's out of our bounds with the
Because there was some
village
issues, and I
attorney.
just
Well,
wanted
those
to
can
do.
be addressed
I
with the
just
bid board
wanted
at
to-
a different time, because it's not the time for
Well,
that.
they're here now.
Well,
What's the point? Why do you
I
want to
invite you to
argue
call
about
me
things that
anytime.
other
I
people
really
have to
do.
say?
I think we're being billed for bid, the village residents are being billed for bid legal fees. I think that that's an issue, and if they don't know what the rules are, they probably should learn.
Okay, thank you. Tyler?
Yeah, so I just wanna make sure we get done on time, so we start
Thank
the
you.
meeting at 7:30, so we got about 7 minutes, before we should, well, I was hoping that we could adjourn a few minutes before, so
Maybe.
we can do bathroom breaks and that before 7:30. So I just wanna make sure that you have time to summarize and give any final feedback to the bid before adjournment.
Thank you. I know what time it is. Anybody else? Yes. Trustee McKay.
First of all, I wanna say thank you to the bid board and the members, and whoever's not here, please extend my thanks. So you guys have done a really dynamic job in coming, you've had a lot of turnover, so you have a new crew, and you've really, aligned with the calendar year as far as the bid operating plan and submitting that, and I really appreciate that. I have a little concern over transparency, and so I just wanna say that, what I'm hearing from President Rozek is a very, strong encouragement to use any additional fees for public improvements. And I just want you to know that that is something that's come up during our budget cycles the last 2 years on the village side. Looking for possible ways to share costs with the bid. And so I don't think that that's a problem for a village to ask that and to explore it. I just wanna make sure that we're all moving together with the understanding that that is something that's come up several times on the part of the village. And so I don't know what that process would look like, you know, sort of working collaboratively towards that. I tend to be a little bit more, I know that we approve the bid operating plan and that the statutes outline certain authorities. I tend to be pretty respectful that the bid board is their own board of directors, and I'd like to work as closely with that as possible. So that's what, I just wanted to say that, just to share my perspective.
Thank you.
I also agree with the addition of the beautification in our budget process. We've talked about barricades, getting the snowflakes, getting I've noticed the banners are looking, I mean, that's gonna help create a much better business district, each business owner may, but if there's snowflakes and decorations, it's the whole district that you know, and especially smaller businesses, they don't have a big advertising budget, so the ability to pull the marketing together for the whole district is a plus. So your effort to reach out and explain what the bid is doing and seek additional feedback is good. It will take staff time, and also these events take staff time, and doing the beautification's gonna take staff time, so I appreciate all the bid board's effort on doing the work.
Anybody else? I also wanna just, before we close the meeting, wanna say thank you, because you listened in the beautification line. I was so excited when Rebecca told me that was in there, so I really appreciate the entire bid board. And I appreciate you being here tonight, because it's very rare that we get to actually speak and communicate with the bid board members, just because schedules are tight and we all have many meetings, so, thank you so much about that. If possible, before we vote, and Tyler's, do we have to vote on this, or maybe the clerk, at the following meeting in November? Is there a reason?
I don't know when it's scheduled for the.
I mean, is there a deadline?
Sometime in November, yeah, so, we don't have it yet on which, but we certainly know you'll have your special meeting, to give feedback, and then you'll send, if there's any revisions, you'll send us that updated operating plan, so.
Okay.
It more than likely it'd be the second November meeting that we would have
That's what I
that
was
to be
told, November
considered.
18th.
Okay,
Yeah.
so between now and then, I just request 2 things, and you don't have to do this, it's just a request, but could you send, staff, and they can email it to the board, but just, what the changes, I always ask our own finance director to do this about our budget, but what has changed from 19 to 20 in the
Sure.
budget? So whether it's gone up or down, so that we don't have to do line item by line item. And then also, if you could just, even if it's through an email, if you could reach out to the business owners. We can do our part individually if we would like, as elected officials, but it would be helpful if, even if it's just an email, just to give the business owner some idea of what's being proposed, and a chance to comment back. And then any comments you get before the meeting or at the meeting, if you could get them to us, that'd be great.
Okay.
Trustee Warren?
Sorry, I'm not trying to take away everyone's bathroom break, to be clear, but I just want to, I echo the comments on beautification also. I think it'd be nice, I'm assuming you're contemplating adding some of the data and the feedback from kind of going door to door within that.
I don't know if that will be done, if that will be done until.
Okay, that's the thing, okay, just wanted to check and see where we were.
Yep.
But whatever you have in terms of feedback and.
I just wanna say that, I think the small retail that we have is, really important to the business district and to keeping the business district a place that people from outside Shorewood would want to come and look at. We seem to be getting more services in these spaces, with, the Ascension moving and the Casa de Cora zone are taking a big, form of retail spaces. And we definitely have eating and drinking, but there's a limit to, at least in Shorewood, there's a limit to how much, income there is, or how many times people are gonna go out for a burger or a beer. So, and I think the small retail is so it's both very important, and I think it's having a really hard time, so, that's one of the things that I'm concerned about.
Trustee Buckles?
I'd also like to echo some of the thanks that have been given by some of the trustees for the hard work. I know that it's a volunteer position that you all have, and as small business owners and a variety of small business owners in this community and beyond, I really appreciate it. I know that, times have changed, and I think it's, nationwide, we're going more towards the service industry with a lot of online and other things, so I really can appreciate the fact that you've been able to pivot and